Hello everyone, Tanak here. Welcome to episode 75 of Building My Industrial Empire in EVE Online. So let's start with the progress report. Boom! As you can see, the net worth of my character plus the corporation is now at 237 billion ISK. If we look at the tracker here, there was a big climb this week, and I'll explain why in a little bit. Here you can see the detail. Tanak progressed a little, about a bill. Erica progressed a lot, which was actually money from that character that got shipped to Erica. Toy company progressed significantly, and that's about it. So if you look at the detail here, I would say this is typical progression, which have been increased a lot this week because of battle loot. We actually made more money in loot this week than we did in ratting tax, so it's pretty significant. That's the lucrative part of PvP, I would say, and it wasn't because we specifically tried to do something like that. We just happened to fight a lot, and Loot Fairy was good to us this week. We'll see when we get into the military part, where I'm going to show you the detail of that. So anyway, we're back into a good progression here, which is nice because we are padding our wallet in provision of our expansion phase that we want to do in the not so distant future. So we still have a few weeks of crabbing left to do before we are ready to go forward. But right now it's all going according to plan with some significant progression so far. So that's it for the progress report. HR, you can see that we are now at 526 members, so it's a little more normal progression, I would say. We did get a few more recruit, and there's attrition on a group like us, so this was when our Arjuncle joined and left, but we're still like climbing, getting a few more members each week, growing. This is more sustainable because we like to actually integrate our member fully, get to know them on comm, get them properly set up, and it's a lot easier to manage when you're getting like a steady influx of 5, 6, 7 recruit per week. It's a lot easier to handle as a big group than getting a large chunk at the same time, because it's harder to integrate everybody to their full potential. It's harder on our integration team when we get a large number. So this week has been pretty good still. We're progressing, we're growing. And again, it's active member. We are, if you see here, you will see that our member are actually people online. We have seen like a little drop in number because of the summer, the end of the lockdown. So it does show a little bit, but like, okay, you see here, so like more than half the corp has logged in the last 24 hours, and if you go on the last week, you see at least like 75% of the corp has logged in over the past week. The rest, well, yeah, there's some. I would need to do a member cleanup, but still very we're still very active. So that's it for HR. Again, we're talking with different corp. that want to join. We're looking at increasing our number in PvP and industry, so both of that. But what we really are looking for in a corp is people that will actively come and join the alliance. We don't want people that are like half committed to joining the alliance. We want people that actually do want to come and live with us and be part of the group, participate in operation, participate in the life on Discord, on Mumble, so that kind of stuff. Military wise, you can see here, we are now at 42% dangerous, and we passed the actual 50% in ship efficiency. We're still working on point, and ISK-wise, we are doing pretty good. If you're looking at the past week, we have been positive everywhere. So all in all, pretty good on the military size. 42% dangerous, so we're getting up there. We are progressing very well. What happened this week? I already told you about our typical whack-a-mole Saturday. Well, this one, where is the Saturday here? I want to flex with the kill board. Where is it? Okay, I'm looking at the to see. Okay, well, anyway, you can see that we're pretty active, but you guys go check our kill board if you want. Anyway, what happened is we got into a bunch of battle in succession. We got one Varger kill, then we got a group of wormholer from Mouth Trumpet Cavalry that tried to steal our ESS, and then we had a rattlesnake coming to rat into our space. We got within 1 hour more than 13 billion ISK of kills, which ended up dropping about 3 billion worth of loot. So the reason that we did get a good climb this week on our financial was that we did get an extra 3 billion worth of loot from those battle, which was pretty sweet for us, and it's helping us speed up our timetable. So that was pretty good. Again, I don't want to spend the entire show on discussing our kill board, but as you can see, we are a very active PvP group. We have combat, we have content every day. We do roam every day. We have people coming in trying to rob our ESS or trying to fly to our space. And we are pretty aggressive when people try to come into our space. So we typically do rise up to the challenge and pick those fights. Weekend at some point they are getting pretty busy. So sometimes we do take a little break and we don't take 100% of the fight, or we would be like fighting nonstop for 12 hours. But it's still pretty fun. So that for the military side, we did a lot of fighting, but no real big war for us. As you see here, the war deck that we have ended, so we're back into our standard nullsec. Because an ISEC war deck for a group like us doesn't translate into a lot of impact on our operation, because most of our transport is done out of Corp Holder, and most of our guys live in the null pocket. So unless they actually come to nullsec to try and challenge us, and they wouldn't need a war deck for that, well, it's pretty much a non-issue aside from catching an occasional guy with his pants down in Jita. But typically our more experienced member are used to that type of operation, and they know not to travel to Jita under war deck. You always do. In a group of 500 people, somebody at some point tried to risk and then he get caught, but that's the part of the game, I would say. Industrial operation. Well, the industrial index is going up on all our three system where we're building, so we do have like a pretty solid production right now that is going. We do have again, there's still supply chain problem. It's just at this point, considering the second-hand market on cap, it's just not worth it to produce them, considering the price of the mineral. But you're seeing the price increase, and you're also seeing a little bit of a drop in price to build. So I would say like the equilibrium will probably be around 5 or 6 bill for a cap. Right now you're closer to like 8 or 9 in material cost, and you can buy them off the second-hand market for like 4 bill. So that's about it. In the area locally, you can see that's toilet paper. They have one huge industrial system because they have not. It doesn't look like they've spread their production around. Aside from that, well, Asteria has one system where they look to be building, but it's not very well. Doesn't seem to be used too much. And that's about it. And Bender, I think they use here. They use 5Z as their system. So we are a significant industrial player in the area, but it's not like we're not as dominating as we were when we were in Genesis, where we actually had the highest system in the area. But we're still doing pretty good on that side. Pureblind politics. This was interesting. This week there was a big battle here in KQK. This used to belong to Null Seshnaya Schlupen, and they had both the IHUB and TCU. The TCU was entonces by Volta, and there was a big fight here where the fraternity side, which is fraternity, literally trigger, I think they're fraternity renter or ally, I'm not sure, but they're living in frat space with some place where there's frat IHUB. Null Seshnaya, I think Snuffed was on their side too, Lord of War, but well, the frat camp and the Volta camp fought each other. Looks like the Volta camp came ahead by a large margin. You got 42 billion versus 110 or 111 billion lost, with some cap kill from Schlupen. So that fight, well, Womp didn't join the fight. We are neutral to both of these groups, and we're actively avoiding taking a side. If we join on one side or the other, it would make us commit to a series of fight that we don't want to. So for us, it's at that point we did join Hostile State for like 2 days and left, and then we negotiated like kind of a gentleman agreement, like well, fraternity basically told us, yeah, we're not invading Pureblind. So right now we're just trying to avoid these two groups fighting each other, and we're doing our own thing on our side, and letting the big boys fight between themselves and growing from our perspective, doing something that is more interesting for us, which is growing our own alliance and not getting boggled down in fight that doesn't concern us. But still, it was a large, interesting battle. What happened is Volta did manage to claim the TCU, and the IHUB was switched to Frat and was reinforced. So there is an entonces timer, and it's coming out this weekend. So that one will be interesting. And Frat did take the TCU here, which was Celestial Empire, and Volta refed it. So, and again, this one too is coming out this weekend. So that's on the 23rd, that's Sunday. Looks like I'm expecting there's going to be another battle of this size in this area this weekend. So that's about it for Pure Blind Politics. On the Bender front, it's been pretty quiet. I haven't heard of any big battle between Bender and, aside from that fight here, I haven't heard of any big battle between TP and Bender since TP claimed all this area here. So they got the 2 TCU here, the 2 iHub here. I haven't seen any other, I ever heard of anything else on that front. So that's about it for the Pure Blind Politics. What else? Tanak, well, is progressing slowly but surely. I'm getting closer to 52 million hit point. I have 2 T2 guns on my Munin, and now I'm just like polishing up stuff like level 5 skill to become a better subcap pilot. And keep I'm still training mostly combat skill. As needed, I might inject into industrial skill when I do start to do a little bit more, but right now my main focus is combat. Again, I'm not like, I still enjoy talking about industry. I still enjoy looking at it, analyzing, occasionally analyzing production line and all the implication of industry that it has on our group, because for us, we are still an industrial corp, but me as a player, I just don't have enough time to do in-depth analysis of the production and everything. So a lot of our guys in the corp are doing that, and my goal as CEO of an industrial corp is not as much to be involved in the detail of every production line as much as it is to provide the group with a stable, well-defended and efficient production infrastructure. And I think that's the key. Because production is not easy to pool and organize. It would imply a lot of micromanagement, and I'm a big believer in free market and letting people organize themselves and not trying to overly manage everything. Like, let's say we trying to coordinate what everybody's producing to make sure that the market hub is well supplied and stuff like that. That quickly becomes a lot of overhead. So right now, I rather look at the big picture and say, okay, we got people that are producing. They need these types of structure, these types of fit, these types of ring. They need to do reaction. They need these moon mineral, and I'm making sure that everything is accessible to everybody. And then the producer can actually focus on building what they need and what the market will request. So they are building what will sell. They are keeping our own market hub supply. And I'm mostly working at providing them a stable infrastructure to be able to do what they enjoy doing. Personally, I'm still trying to slowly but surely build my Rorqual, but I'm so far from it. I was actually getting pretty close until there was a change. I should have retrospectively, I should have just bought the mineral I was missing and push it to finish it before the change. I didn't because I was focused on something else, and now it's a lot more complicated to finish that Rorqual. But I'll get there someday. Anyway, that's it for what I had to tell you this week. What you can expect in the next few weeks, well, obviously, since our goal is padding our wallet hopefully you'll get like another big increase in net worth because we are piling asset and ISK. So that will be our focus for next week. We did climb from 41 to 42% in the dangerous scale, so I'd like to get to 43 or 44. We'll see if that works. We want to get more player, become stronger, keep growing, and all those good things. I'm not expecting big move on the map this week. There's possibly going to be a big fight here. Womp will not, as a corp, join it. Because we're neutral between in that fight between Frat and Volta. We might send 1 or 2 ships just to look around, but aside from that, it's not our fight. We'll pick some other nice fights somewhere else on the map for sure. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoy and see you guys next week. Bye bye.